So Black Lives Matter South Bend chapter has called for Pete to resign simply because we haven't really seen him do anything of substance for the black community here. So in the wake of the Eric Logan shooting, where he was murdered by Officer Ryan O'Neal, we went to Mayor Pete and said, okay, look, who's going to take responsibility for this? We've been calling for a civilian review board since 2014. Not as Black Lives Matter, but the black community as a whole has been calling for a citizens review board. He's blamed it on he always turns to blaming it on bureaucracy. So it's always, well, at the state law says that, we can't really have something like that. We're saying, okay, well, create something within the confines of the state law, because they've done it in Indy. Why can't we have a citizens review board that runs alongside your Board of Public Safety? The Board of Public Safety is the governing agency that presides over the police in terms of training, hiring, and firing, and promotions. And so Mayor Pete has sort of said, well, it's on the state, it's on the Board of Public Safety, but wait, you appoint the entire Board of Public Safety. So why aren't you bringing citizen input in as you make those appointments? So we've asked for him to replace folks on the Board of Public Safety. He's refused. We've asked for him to replace the Chief of Police, Scott Ruskowski. He's refused to do that. The reason why we've called for him to demote or fire Chief Scott Ruskowski is because Eric Logan was murdered in the late night during the third shift patrol. And that third shift has been reported as a shift that's particularly problematic, where they haven't been turning on their body cameras. So again, in 2014, the community called for body camera technology and for a citizens review board. They didn't get the citizens review board, still don't have that yet, but they adopted the body camera technology last year in 2018. We were promised that it was going to have all these different capabilities. Well, it turns out that it didn't. That when a shot is fired, it wasn't equipped with the technology where it would automatically turn on and play back or record back 2 minutes. We found out in the wake of Eric Logan's murder that, well, we reported that in the paper, but it actually doesn't have that feature right now, but they're working on it. So we asked for him to fire the chief because he said that all officers were required to turn on the body cameras. He reported out that it had this particular feature as part of the body camera, and it didn't. He actually promoted the offending officer who murdered Eric O'Neal. It was reported to him back in January of this year that third shift had not been turning on their body cameras. Even their legal department, Mayor Pete's legal department, had found that they hadn't turned on their body cameras. And so we're saying, okay, who's going to accept responsibility for this? If you're not going to hold the chief accountable, if you're not going to hold the Board of Public Safety accountable, then the buck stops with you. You appoint the chief, you appoint the Board of Public Safety. Your officers clearly aren't getting the right training, so you need to step down.